Right. Ivan Patala. Am I audible?
I want sir.
Okay.
Ayubowan, sir.
Right. Let me share the screen. Right. So hope you all are doing well. Right. So let's start the class today. Right. So we are talking about applications of computers. Right. So did I explain the agricultural things and the security, CCTV, farms management, fishing industries? Did I explain those things? Or still you want me to explain those applications? So we're talking about MRI, no? Healthcare sector. Did I explain those things? මතක නැද්ද? කතියට. So this traffic management, CCTV, I can remember. So video conferencing. No answer. No. Right. I think we stopped somewhere here, right? Transport. Right? ICT in manufacturing and industry, and business, right? So you are here, right? I guess. Right? Did I explain these things, Tasavadua, Situmya? In the past, today, they replaced the manpower using the robotic arms. Did I?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what are the benefits we get? So when we replace human resources from maybe robotics or the ICT technologies, right? So what are the benefits we get? So we need to comply when you're utilizing human resources. මානව සම්පත පාවිච්චි කරද්දී පුතාලා we need to adapt some rules and we need to adapt according to some compliance. We need to adhere compliance. There are legal things to be considered, like as example, there are specific hours per day that we can utilize one person, maximum number of hours. So let's say 8 hours. maybe we can pay some extra amount that's called overtime allowance, and we can make use maybe another 2 hours. So that's the maximum, right? And even if we try to utilize the manpower, it's not so effective. Why? Because of usually we get tired, right? We can't work more than that. Why? They have limited your school period to 40 minutes or maximum 2 periods, right? So that's the maximum we can concentrate. So scientifically they have proved that's the maximum we can concentrate, right? Yes, there are some classes. So time to time we need to get changes. That's not saying that we can work only up to 1.5 hours. We can work, but we need to get some changes or refreshment, right? Likewise, there are certain rules we need to follow. Actually, it depends from country to country. Some countries allow more than that. Some countries, especially developed countries, they don't allow. Even their government won't allow to utilize. There are they have given so much of freedom, right? But developing countries, actually, they can utilize something little bit more than the developed countries, right? That's why in Sri Lanka, these type of countries, we don't get that much of leave or the free hours, right? So we need to work a little bit more. That's because of the country situation, right? So economic and the political, all those kind of facts are there. So if there's a better thing that we can adapt manufacturing, ICT for manufacturing, so we can overcome such situations, like the 24-hour service, right? So machines won't get tired, so it can work maybe continuously, right? No need to stop. There are some production and manufacturing systems, like if you take a Toyota or any vehicle manufacturing system, it will work continuously, right? People change according to their shift patterns, allocated shift. So maybe every 8 hours, people change, but the machine will continuously working, right? So no need to stop. So they can cater their demand using that type of mechanism, right? Efficiency is very high and the accuracy is very high, and we can maintain even hygiene as well, right? So not like human beings, so machines, actually it will maintain all the we can maintain all the machines to the acceptable level, and in very hygienic or very controlled environment, right? So see, there are some examples here. Computer-aided manufacturing, right? And manufacture of packaging materials. So some sort of cartons or the boxes, containers, right? They manufacture using this, right? Packaging. So there are automated packaging systems. Car production. So I told you, right? So few robotic arms work together to make, so it will be very efficient work now, right? So independently they can work. Maybe one robotic arm fix the windscreen and other one is working simultaneously. At the same time, other robotic arm works something else, right? And here, labeling. Those are automated labeling machines, right? Filling bottles, automated. So accuracy will be maintained. Sometimes we can't maintain the accuracy. Sometimes we'll spoil the things, like we'll spill it out, but very controlled environment, it will handle very carefully. The system can handle that kind of situation, right? So video conferencing. No need to explain this, right? So currently also we are doing video conferencing, the type of video conferencing, right? Remote education, right? Even for organizations, they can utilize this video conferencing facility the technology has improved. So even now, AI is embedded. Maybe it can utilize the artificial intelligence things such as generating meeting summary, right? Automated alerting, such kind of things also they are embedded. So it's gradually developing, but it's already developed, but still it's developing, right? So it utilize maybe high quality videos, right? Those kind of things. Earlier, I can remember we used something called video conferencing. It's not so efficient, like the video quality is very less at that time, right? And still actually we could manage, but we need to purchase very specific equipments for that video conferencing unit. Now even using general computer, we can make use of those facilities. At that time, actually no webcam were there, right? No conferencing speakers are there, right? So dedicatedly, one is the best video conferencing unit manufacturer is Polycom. You can remember Polycom, right? So that's one of the best. Now Logitech is evolving. There are certain brands, so they are very popular when manufacturing video conferencing systems. Now we can use multiple monitors, right? So no need our directors to go to certain countries to attend the meetings. Now, from anywhere from the world, even using mobile phones, right? They can connect to the meeting. So it's very effective and efficient methodology, right? Human resource management. So basically, we need to mark the book. Otherwise, punching machines were used. Right? Podi card එකක් තියෙනවා ඒක machine එකට දැම්මම time එක print වෙනවා. So that was the initial mechanism. ඉස්සරම කරේ පොතක ලියන එක මම වැඩට ආවා කියලා පොතක ලියන එක, right? Then they use some sort of manual machine. ඒකට පොඩි card එකක් තියෙනවා. card එක මගේ card එක තෝරාගෙන ඒක ගැව්වම correctly it will print the date and time, right? So that's the mechanism they manage. දැන් පරක් වෙලා ගියොත් රතු පාටින් print වෙනවා. වෙලාවට ගියොත් කළු පාටින් print වෙනවා, right? So those are developments. But now today we use sort of fingerprint identification, maybe face recognition, right? So sometimes some organizations use card readers. So specific card, that's RFID or the barcode enabled card will be provided to, it's a unique card provided to the employees, right? So each person gets unique identification number and the barcode, so they can swipe the card, or maybe they can place the finger on the fingerprint reader and it will mark your attendance. So that's how nowadays organizations actually record their employees' attendance, right? So it's very efficient nowadays, right? Human resource management. And even we can keep records for later use, right? So it's computer aided. So actually this data will be written into the database. So we can refer later, right? Maybe for their salary processing or something, right? So calculation of leave, everything so can be done according to their fingerprint identification, right? So so that's about the human resources management, time management thing, and e-banking system. This is very popular nowadays, right? You can withdraw or deposit money using automated teller machines. ATM, I was talking about this, I can remember ATM, that's called automatic teller machine. At CDM, that's computerized what do you call cash deposit machines, right? So two things. Automated teller machines, so we can check our account balance, we can withdraw cash, right? So no need to go to the bank, right? Earlier days, actually, we had to go to the bank with the account book, and they will process and give money. So Now it's 24 hour, it's available, that facility. So we can simply go and we can insert the card. We have to type our PIN code and we can withdraw money, right? According to account money availability, right? And even you can check the balance, even maybe you can pay the utility bills. දැන් ඒවා පොතේ දැන් අපිට light bill එක ගෙවන්න ඕන නම් we can do it through ATM machines as well. So just you need to know the merchant account number and all, right? So those ATMs work via the internet, right? So interbanking or transactional activities are made possible where even within Sri Lanka or abroad. Maybe now all the banks are connected through internet, right? So banking network is securely connected now. So interbanking communications are available. Now, ඒක තමයි පුතාලට එක බැංක් එකකින් සල්ලි දැම්මම අනිත් බැංක් එකට at the same time within few seconds maybe it will transfer to the other bank. දැන් පොඩි වෙලාවකදී අනිත් බැංක් එකට transfer කරන්න පුළුවන්. So thanks to the internet developments, right? Networking development. So banks are securely connected. So they use very secure protocols to connect. Otherwise, maybe hackers වගේ පුළුවන් මේක hack කරන්න. There are certain incidents happen, but it's repeatedly they are doing developments, right? They are strengthening their security, intercommunication securities, right? And they will monitor the activities, maybe frauds happening, maybe suspicious activities are going on within the bank. So those are being monitored every time, right? There are certain people or maybe AI-based or system-based mechanisms are implemented to identify. Then if you incorrectly enter your PIN number 3 times, your card will be blocked, right? Sometimes then අපේ card එක bank එකක් ඇතුළට ගියොත් so it will immediately destroy the card. So you can't make use that card again. You can't take it out. Even next day they won't issue the card again. So you need to inform the bank and get the fresh card. So make sure you should correctly know your PIN card. So any maybe physical card case, if it holds inside the ATM card, that card cannot be utilized anymore, right? So you have to remember that, right? And online shopping. No need to tell about these things, right? So online shopping is very popular nowadays. So what are the online shopping platforms? Tell me any common online shopping platform. Maybe in Sri Lanka, maybe other countries worldwide available.
Kapruka.
Yes,
Amazon.
good. Daraz, Kapruka, Amazon, eBay, yes, AliExpress, right? Alibaba. So what's the difference between Alibaba and AliExpress? So that's the biggest online platform, Alibaba and AliExpress. What's the difference? So AliExpress it's for consumer goods, Ali and retail goods, and Alibaba is for wholesale shopping, right? Wholesale, like toga, right? So AliExpress is for consumers, right? So remember. So what are the benefits? Open 24 hours, global communication, commercial organization, which is on the internet. So actually those are virtual organizations, right? Maybe you can't find some offices, right? The AliExpress office, but still available, right? You can open your own shopping, virtual shopping shop in the internet, right? If you want to become a seller, so they will give you virtual space. So if you have any goods to sell, so you can publish them on their platform. So same thing, AliExpress is doing the same thing. So they collect manufacturers and they have given virtual spaces to keep them. Ar shopping mall එකට ගියාම physically shops දීලා තියෙනවා වගේ. කඩවල් හැමතැනම තියෙනවා ඒ වගේ in internet. So their platform, let's say AliExpress platform, they have given internet virtual spaces to create your own shop. Then සමහර අය they're selling electronics, some are selling food, some are selling like flowers, right? So different things, right? Even if you manufacture something, or maybe let's say you're manufacturing anything like maybe fresh fruits. So there are opportunities now. You can sell it online, right? There are so many things. So those are very popular. You can think and write, right? Home delivery services. So those are the other, attached services, right? So make a වටේට පුතේ තව shuttle businesses, why the courier services, right? So we need to deliver the goods, right? So it will save the time. So the courier guy will come and collect the things, otherwise he will deliver it to the doorstep. So those kind of facilities or shuttle services, right? Also enabled, and we can conveniently pay through credit cards. Credit card or debit cards we can, and even they will promote their goods using discounts. Now Daraz, repeatedly they are promoting through discounts, so they will attract their customers. Credit card, they will offer credit card they will do credit card promotions, maybe discounts, maybe promotion codes they will issue sometimes, right? So many things, right? So you can think and write, save time, transport cost, avoid unnecessary travel related. But there are some issues as well. So you can't physically inspect the good before buy. So that is one disadvantage, right? සමහරවිට deliver කරපුවාම then only we come to know that's not working. So we can't experience before the buy. That's one disadvantage. We can see so much very quality images. They will do so much of promotions, right? So they can attract the customers, but when we receive the goods, sometimes we experience that it's not working, right? So that's one disadvantage. And there are so many advantages, even cash on delivery. So such cases, the cash on delivery option is available. So you can order the good, you can inspect. So if it is perfectly fine, we can pay the cash and purchase the good at that time. Otherwise, you can return, right? No need to pay when you are shopping at that time. So on-demand payments also available, right? ICT in transport. So they use CCTVs to analyze the traffic situations, maybe driving, what you call illegal driving things, right? And situations, and maybe speeding they can capture, right? Maybe road signs, if you neglect road signs, that no need to place cops here and there, right? No need to place policemen here and there. So you can place CCTV camera. So it will continuously send the footages to the monitoring team. So then they can capture, right? Even the AI technologies are embedded into the CCTVs now. As example, you want to follow a vehicle. Then just following the vehicle, right? But throughout the CCTV system, it will alert. How they do, like initially they will capture maybe the number plate and the color and everything. It will analyze, and that those information will be sent across. So, and other CCTV monitoring systems are capable of analyzing that data. When they capture that number plate or the color, vehicle model, everything, so it will say the location, exact location. So it's a very good technologically very advanced thing. So we can make use for many purposes, right? Monitoring the road traffic, accidents, illegal activities, appropriate actions accordingly, right? Right. Traffic light controlling systems. Those are very common, right? Those are not new things. And now we can make use of ICT technologies to control the vehicle traffic accordingly. No need to pre-program. According to the traffic situations, the color light duration can be changed, right? And parking identification place card. I've seen lot ne අපිට park කරන්න ඕන නම් we can take computer systems. We can take RFID card, so it will mark our in time, and according to our in time, out time will be calculated. I mean, out time, the difference between the in time and out time, they will calculate the cost, right? Relevant cost. So those are being implemented for entertainment. Listen to music. Watch Miss TV programs or Rewind TV facilities available. Exchange information between friends, relatives, all right? Watch high definition video using technology. Now, as I said, very high quality images now can produce, and even we can turn across the internet. So if you have very good bandwidth, right, you can now experience high quality images, right? Earlier, actually, we could not do because of the bandwidth. They can put a bandwidth, they can internet connectivity speed, right? Adunang, it's very difficult to send good quality images and sounds. But nowadays, actually, even the fiber optic technology is available, so it's very fast, right? So even the consumers, the end users get very high speed internet facility, right? Actually, good old days, like only organizations put that kind of internet facility, but nowadays they are even showing to the public, right? So they can even pay, and it's very small amount compared to the previous days. Now it's very competitive rates they are providing the high speed internet, right? Surf the internet, learning activities, play games, right? Read e-books, take photographs, enter in places and store them in the computer. So those are entertaining based, right? Watching movies, right? E-news, digital programs, social network, digital photography, downloading and listening music, right? Those kind of things, right? And what are the demerits? So I was talking about these things last week also, just I'm refreshing, right? So addiction, right? So you need to be very careful about, you should think by your own whether I'm addicted to this. That's not a good practice. So don't addict to anything. So earlier we were talking about addicting to the smoking, maybe other drugs, or that with that only that addiction word came. Now things are changed. Now addicting to the social media, those kind of words we can hear nowadays. So don't addict to anything, right? Just make use, see the advantages we can get. So think about the disadvantages, right? Make use for your betterment. So don't get addicted. So social media especially, right? There are certain brands like Facebook, TikTok, maybe Snapchat, so much, even WhatsApp, Telegram. So much of those are actually marketing tools. In today's world, those are marketing tools. But how they keep people on their platform by allowing them to allowing people to exchange the I mean, maybe entertaining things, or maybe information, whatever, the data, right? Information. So that can be funny data, that can be entertaining data, that can be learning data, that can be something else. But so they allow people to freely exchange their information, but behind So they make business platforms. So they earn money. So while you are using, so you are just simply you are browsing the internet. I mean, let's say Facebook or YouTube, right? Behind that, so they generate now huge amount of money, and they will pay for the content creator also, right? That's why it's so popular, right? Even if you can do very good YouTube channel, you can earn money, right? According to the views, they will publish ads and all inside your video, right? And accordingly, they will share some amount with you. So you are the originator, no? So they will share. So that way they can earn some sort of money, right? There are some funny stuff, education stuff, so much of things, right? Maybe research things. Likewise, right? Addiction. So, and be careful about the health issues, right? You might get back pain, headache, sore eyes, right? Those kind of things. So if you long time, so long time addictions cause maybe neck pain. So why? You are using mobile phone, maybe bending your neck for so long time. So you will be end up with permanent neck pain. So you have to be very careful when using the electronic devices, especially computers and mobile phones, right? Excuse me. Right. Building unsuitable friendships through the social media. So we can hear some sort of very sad incidents, right? Very unfortunate incidents, and maybe uh, incidents impact their life threatening things, right? So much of bad things can happen when you are when you're using especially social media, so using technology for keeping the friendship. So you need to make sure, because there are a lot of scams, frauds happening within uh, the surfaces, right? Within this uh, platform, right? So you need to make sure you are well safe when you are, so no, you should learn, then only you will come to know what to do in this kind of cases. So there are incidents we have seen, very unfortunate. Some now you all are like grade 10, right? So you need to be very careful about your personalities, right? So your image, so that can be badly damaged, right? So within a minute, maybe within a second, some maybe some image, so unwanted image can spread across the world. No one can stop that much. It's very fast, rapidly spreading. So you need to make sure, right? So it will damage your entire life sometimes. You can't tolerate, you don't know how to tolerate. That's the case, first thing, right? But sometimes you can't tolerate. There are very unfortunate situations, right? When we're talking about the social media, right? Especially. So unwanted pregnancy. In the book, they have given the guideline. So only thing you need to listen to that wordings, right? So understand the wordings, right? There are so many incidents. No need to explain, right? Maybe sometimes they will attack for the popularity. Maybe singers, actors, right? Maybe very high profiles, so very popular people. So they will try to play with their life, right? So maybe demanding some ransoms, maybe demanding money, or right. So that kind of thing, right? So they will do anything. So the world is so weird, so outside. So keep this in mind. So very carefully you should handle this ICT thing, right? So especially be careful about your photograph, right? Be careful about your videos. So especially be careful when you are sending your phone or the computer to repair, right? You need to give it to very safe person, safe or maybe reputed person, so they will ensure your privacy, right? Right? And the next point, right? When the computer is infected by virus due to improper use of internet, it may not function properly or go out of order. So viruses, those are very common things. So malware, actually those are software, bad software, I would say, right? It can damage your data, maybe information, maybe your functionality of computer, maybe it will impact your speed of the computer. So we have troubleshooting sessions. At that time I will explain to you, right, why this. So in that area also you have to think not only about this hard disk speed and all. Maybe you might think, you should think this might happen due to virus infection. So that's possible, right? And be careful when you are sending information like sensitive information like credit card payments, bank details, passwords. So you have to be very careful when sending across the internet, right? And mental disorders. Pisu hadino. Kelim onnaki wachane. Pisu hadino. So your small brains cannot tolerate this kind of thing, right? Affect the person causing harm himself, herself, and to society by visiting improper websites. So instead, proper websites, most of the websites are improper. So that's the word, right? Improper websites, right? So they will do anything to attract the customers, right? They will show you beautiful pictures, sound clips, maybe links. They will try to mislead you, like paying some sort of a huge amount of money. Maybe you won the lottery, you can claim through this link, those kind of things, right? So there are so much of things, right? You need to understand. Straight away you think first, that's the best way to avoid these things. Straight away you think this can be a scam. Make a වැරදි දෙයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. That's the first thing it should come to your mind. Then you can analyze whether this is correct thing or wrong because of the facts. Straight away don't judge this is going to be a perfect one, right? You can't win lottery like $1 billion lottery or $1 million lottery, even you have not purchased lottery, right? So without purchasing a lottery, you can't win, no? So why you are worrying about that message, right? එහෙම නේද පුතාලා? ලොතරැයිය ගන්න නැතුව අපිට දිනුවා කියලා මැසේජ් එකක් ආවට වැඩක් නැහැ නේ, right? Those are very general things, right? And be careful with this AI generated things now, right? So very carefully use these kind of things, right? Publishing of distorted photographs and videos, individuals affecting their personal lives. That's what I was talking about. Especially they are playing with popular people, right? They want to make money, nothing else, right? People want to make money. That's all. So that's why they are doing. So very few percentage actually they will do for the purpose to do it for maybe they are, I don't know, that weird satisfaction, right? But most of 99% actually they will do this thing for earning money. There are so much of places where you can earn money using such bad things, right? So be careful when you are learning using the internet, right? Let's exercise obesity, right? Isolation, violating copyright. Horror software so that's illegal, right? So you need to pay the proper amount to get the legal software, right? Then only you respect their intellectual property, right? So you need to respect that, right? That's only thing you can pay. There are free tools you can use. If the manufacturer says this is free of charge, maybe you can trial that. And if you are especially if you are using those softwares to make money, right? You need to pay and purchase the original software, right? Okay, this last part today. I'll be closing the class by 8:15, right? So evolution the computer, right? So actually, this is the history of computer, right? So basically, Blaise Pascal invented machine called the adding machine. So it's like it's a maybe a developed version of the counting frame, right? So it's sort of in 1642, maybe 300 years back, right? So at that time also they had the necessity of adding the things or maybe the mathematics, right? So that's why they developed at that time with the available technologies at that time. So they used something with their knowledge frame, right? Abacus was invented around 5,000 years ago, right? Oh, that's wrong. 500 years ago, right? Yeah, 5,000 years ago can't be, no, it's written history. No, 500 years ago it should be, right? Uh, uh, so in 1674, so they improved the machine, right? Developed by Pascal, right? So you can read this and remember, right? Right? And the next one, the French scientist. This is a summary form actually. The French scientist named Joseph Jacquard invented the mechanical loom using punch card system, right? So Charles Babbage started to make his analytical engine. So that considered as a Charles Babbage, actually we consider as a father of the computer. So he invented some sort of machine based on the concepts input, process, and output and store. So that's our fundamental of a computer, so right? So based on that concept, input, process, output, so Charles Babbage developed the analytical engine using punch card system as a storage. Actually, there was no storage at that time, very limited storage, and they used punch card to input the data, right, and the instructions. Right? So we consider Babbage is called the father of computing. So that is very important. You need to remember. It's not the Pascal, right? Some students mislead with that Pascal and the other names. So Charles Babbage, you remember Charles Babbage. He invented the analytical engine and with the input, process, output, and the storage mechanism. So that's the fundamental function of a computer, right? So Charles Babbage is called the father of computing, so that you can mark this, right? So Madam Ada Augusta is the first programmer since we tried to write programmers for the analytical engine. So this person, this lady actually developed some programs to use it in the analytical engine, right? So she considered as the first programmer, Madam Ada Augusta Lovelace, right? So you have to remember that also. Those are important things, right? So at least you remember the name slightly, right? In 1944, so recent past, right? Man named Howard Aiken invented a machine called automatic sequence control calculator at the Harvard University with the assistance of his companion and IBM company. So IBM, that was very popular, right? Prominent company in ICT industry. So it's very old. So most of the innovations brought by IBM, right, in international business machines. So they developed something called automatic sequence control calculator. So automation. So they brought automation, right, with this innovation. 1944. Now gradually developed, and then we start talking about the generations of computers. So after that, see here, first generation, we're going to learn from 1940. So from that time onwards, right? So actually, unfortunately, let me check. All right, okay. I thought I cannot turn that, right? Okay, here. So first generation started from 1940 to, right, 1956. So they used vacuum tubes, right? There are glass tubes which work as a semiconductor, so we can control the current flow. So that's the basic innovation, or that's the most important innovation of electronics. So we could control the electronic flow, current flow, using semiconductors. So the first device they developed is the vacuum tube, right? So that's a hardware technology, right? Punch cards are used to input, process, output, and storage of data. So these are very essential things. You can very simply, you can remember these things. First generation, what's the time period and what's the technology used, vacuum tubes and the punch card. Software, machine language, basically machine language, Putala, it's like ones and zeros. So only ones and zeros, computer can understand only ones and zeros. Assembly actually, it uses some human understandable words, right? So low level language. So instead 0 and 1, right, we could say add. So add word could be used in assembly language. So sort of improved language. So it's very easy to do some programs, right? Nowadays programming concepts came. Nowadays we are talking with the AI generated script, right? But initially assembly language was a very good, very huge innovation. Otherwise, only එක තිබුණ නැත්නම් ones and zeros තමයි අපිට කරන්න වෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම දේවල්. So it was not human understandable, right? Things. So assembly language came. So people could understand the computing concept. Especially they started using our native common English words, right? And stored program concept. So that we could use that computer. So we could write the program, store it in some maybe punch cards, and we could have we could make use that computing program inside those computers, right? So externally they stored the program using punch card, right? Punch card can put a card එක hill විදලා තියෙන්නේ, right? So computer could understand ones and zeros using that pattern, right? අපි ඊට කලින් හදලා ගේන්න ඕනේ card එක, right? ඊට පස්සේ ඒක machine එකට insert කරාන් පස්සේ machine එක අඳුර ගන්නවා ones and zeros, right? So that's where we could ඒක හරි දැන් හිතනකොටත් නිකන් හරි මොනවද වගේ නේද? So high heat generation, that these are characteristics. slow in processing, large in size, not portable, right? Those are built-in size computers, consumes lot of electricity, it's very expensive, right? Nowadays, any mid-range of person can purchase computers. So computing computers become so popular and very cheap nowadays, right? So even general public can purchase computers now, but earlier it was not like that, right? It's very expensive, right? So they built for specific purposes, not for general uses. Maybe um, uh, අපේ මේ මොනවද යුද්ධ කටයුතු, right? ඒ වගේ දේවල් වලට තමයි they use මූලික කාලවල computers, right? use කරේ. So these are the examples: ENIAC, EDVAC, EDSAC, UNIVAC, IBM 7016. Those are first generation computers, right? So likewise, second generation. So vacuum tubes converted into the transistors. So comparative to vacuum tubes, transistors were very small in size. So computer size became very small gradually, right? Suddenly it came very small, right? When it comes to 1963, computers were very small in size compared to the previous generation. So vacuum tubes are like සමහර vacuum tube තියෙනවා අපිටත් වැඩිය ලොකුයි. So those are very big devices, right? Equipment. So transistors, very small transistors, right? So vacuum tubes are replaced by the transistors. Tape drive introduced, floppy disk tapes introduced for the secondary storages. So this was compared to the first generation. This was very efficient, right? So high level programming use of assembly language. So they developed assembly language further, and they use so machine language was eliminated from second generation. So high level programming languages used. High level can put it so we can understand the concept, right? Programming concept, right? Smaller in size compared to the first generation, less heat, low power consumption, comparatively faster than the first generation, right? Expensive. Still it's expensive, right? And Honeywell 400, IBM 7030, CDC 1604, right? CDC 1604, UNIVAC LARC. Those are, you have to remember those things, right? I will show some images maybe next time, right? The third generation, transistors replaced by ICs. So millions of transistors together, by assembly millions of transistors together, they develop something called integrated circuit. So computer size became smaller, right? Compared to the second generation. So high capacity disk used for the secondary storages, keyboard and mouse introduced for the data input. So from third generation inward, so you have to remember keyboard and mouse came in third generation, right? So software used, birth of operating systems. Now they introduce operating systems from third generation, well-developed programming languages, high-level computing languages for coding. So now gradually programming concepts became more popular, right? So high-level computer languages started like Pascal, COBOL, DBase. So I can't remember now, right? Actually, those are later versions. Like they eliminated assembly also now, right? So anyway, it will convert to the assembly and finally machine language. Any programming language does the same thing. But now programming became very easy for the consumer with the improvements of programming languages. So high-level computing languages for coding. So introduced. Third, 964 to 75, right? Small in size, let's see, comparatively faster than second generation. Expensive, still it was expensive, low power consumption. So these are the system names: IBM 360, 370, PDP-8, PDP-11, CDC 6000, right? Fourth generation. So this was very popular. So actually, so we have in our generation, we are lucky enough to work from fourth generation onwards. So actually, we handle sort of fourth generation computers, later versions, right? Large scale. So they by combining lot of ICs. So initially vacuum tubes replaced by the transistors, then transistors, millions of transistors together they develop ICs. Millions of IC functionality replaced by the VLSI, very large scale integrated circuit. So hundreds of thousands of ICs clubbed together and develop something called LSIC interfaces, large scale integrated circuit, right? So they introduced microprocessor, right? Palm top, high capacity hard disk, floppy disk, optical disk, personal computer concept came, fast computer network. So they support fast computer networks, right? OS with GUI. Earlier OS, so they introduced operating system here, but those are text-based. So the text-based තමයි operating system එක තියෙන්නේ, right? You have to type everything. So here they introduce OS with GUI, so mouse capability, right? And some graphics they introduce, right? So graphical user interface, so drag and drop, click, those kind of things they introduce here, right? Very small in size, portable, upgradable, and IBM PC and Apple II, that's Apple II version, right? So those are the examples. Here, fifth generation, 1989 to present. So today you are experiencing the advancements of fifth generation computers, and in technology integration, ULSI. So VLSI became ULSI, ultra large scale integration. So very high capacity hard disk, internet were introduced, right? Operating systems with GUI, internet and multimedia applications, voice recognition based, so AI, artificial intelligence was introduced later, right? AI introduced karani, right? So handwriting recognition also there now, right? Portable. අපිට හැමතැනම ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්, less expensive. ගණන් අඩුයි. Smaller in size. Very small now, the computers, mobile phones, right? Easy operations. So it's very easy now. Anyone can පුතාලා ඉස්සර තිබිච්ච computers use කරන්න very highly expert knowledge එකක්. Now anyone can learn computers because of the development, නේද? So they developed very convenient interfaces, right? Easy operation, high reliable, very reliable, right? High efficient. And the systems, IBM notebook, Pentium PCs, Sun workstations. So those are fifth generation computers, right? These are actually not new things. From grade 6, you are learning about the history of the computers, the evaluation of CPU, right? Neither. So the same thing here, they have given in the summary form. Just remember important things. Remember about Charles Babbage and its programmer's name, right? So remember those things. Make some short notes, right? Here, so it's a 2-page lesson. So very summarized forms they have given about the history, right? So with this, our first lesson is over, right? We'll start the fundamentals of computer systems. So this is very interesting thing, right? We need to learn these things in a very energetic form, right? මේවා තමයි දැන් ඕන දැන් අරවා පොඩ්ඩක් හිතලා ලියන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා නේද? පොඩ්ඩක් අහගෙන හිටපුවාම. But these are specific things, right? So you need to understand very well about networking terminals, mini computers, mainframes, supercomputers, why we need supercomputers, right? Analog signals, digital signals. So this is sort of complex, not complex, but still it's complex lesson, right? So you need to carefully understand the concept, right? And here we need to talk about magnetic disk, hard disk, magnetic tapes, and CD-ROM up to the Blu-ray, the capacities, and about the pen drive. And here there are some hardware items. We need to learn. So it's a very big lesson, right? We might need maybe 4 or 5 classes to complete this lesson, right? Up to fiber optics, it's there, right? So we'll start this lesson from next week. Right, Putala. So we'll stop for today, right? So we have discussed so many things. So freshly we'll start the next lesson, lesson 2, from next week onward. Okay, Putala,
Okay, sir.
right? So much of theory today, right? We'll stop the lesson. Just go through the book, read once, so you will understand. Now you know the concepts, no? So you can understand everything, right? So by the time I will share the notes, so that will help you for exams. But for other things, you can maybe you can read the book, maybe you can use Wikipedia or other in the YouTube resources to learn additional things, right? Okay, keep your knowledge updated, right? Okay then, Hamotama, Ivan.
I want sir. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Putala.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Puta. So Mutluju, I think you got some network issue, right? So next week we'll start the second lesson, right? Go through this history of the computer, right? So I was explaining that. I saw that you went out, but right, go through this generations of computers, right? So next week onwards, we'll start the fresh lesson. That's fundamentals of computer system, right?
Okay, sir.
Right. So
Good
for
night,
today,
sir.
today we'll stop the class, right? Okay.